And guests.
Good evening.
On one resplendent evening, labor pain began for 35 years old woman. Immediately her husband began to prepare Bullock to take her to the nearest hospital. Bullock was ready in a while. 4 ladies sit in the Bullock cart along with the pregnant lady. 4 men started walking beside the Bullock cart. That lady gave birth to a young boy on the way. That young boy thought he was the apple of their eyes, but he was more than that to his parents, who couldn't take on the sorrow of 9 miscarriages. He was named after 6th avatar of Vishnu, and yes, he grew up to be Parsuram Tangaturu. I am from a scenic village in Andhra named Kondampalli, surrounded by 3 mountains, from which it got an alias name as the Mountain Village. Back in my school days, Kondampalli was not developed as today. As a result of which, we had poor transportation and medical facilities. And needless to mention, no proper schools. In case of any emergencies, we had to travel for 13 kilometers to the hospital. Literacy rate is also minimal in my village. Even though my parents don't know how education system works, always they want things different for me, unlike them. When I started showing interest in going school with my cousins, they let me to join for my primary education. I completed my primary education in MPP school in my village. After that, I joined in high school near to my village. That is the phase of my life where my Anglophobia started increasing. I was and is still confused of correct usage of English. My 10th board exams went very well, except for one subject. Any guesses? Yes, English. Everyone, including me, thought that I was the least performer for English subject. Results day came. By that time, I have an uncle who could offer a landline. My teacher called up to my uncle and he handed over the receiver to me. And my sir congratulated me as I was the district topper for most of the subjects. However, I am very curious and I am waiting, my ears were relentlessly waiting to know the result of my English exam. I gathered courage to ask him about the score in English, and he replied that I scored 65% and was the school topper in that subject too. I cannot explain how I feel at that time using any of the words in Oxford Dictionary. So I plan to pursue my higher secondary education in an English medium school, but due to peer pressure again I ended up in regional language. That is the time when question arose in my mind, what next after my plus 2? That is when I started reading newspapers and fell in love with reading. I decided that I want to become an electrical engineer. Growing up in a rustic village, I always dreamt of being a government employee to make my village a better place to live. But due to political issues such as Andhra Telangana bifurcation, I had to implement plan B. So I started attempting all software interviews and hence started my IT career with Accenture and later moved to Siemens in 2017. I have realized that my greatest fear is not public speaking but of articulating thoughts to words. I tried one-to-one help counseling offered by Siemens. They guided me to Toastmasters. To be frank, I heard of Toastmasters before it, but never thought of giving it a try until that day. Fortunately or unfortunately, I opened the doors of Toastmasters one day and I pledged myself to conquer the greatest fear of mine. So here I am delivering my icebreaker speech in my chosen pathway, presentation mastery. So one thing that I can vouch you is that if a boy from an ailing village is able to stand here and speak with no proper English knowledge in his childhood, anybody can become whatever they dream of. I have a dream to pass on my knowledge to the people who struggle like me. Over to you, Amos.